podcast. You're with your host, Julian Leahy. And today I'm joined by the fantastic Michelle Bell from San Diego. Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Hi, I'm so glad you asked me to be here. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah, and Michelle is a very good marketer and a high energy person, which is what I need at the moment because I'm feeling a little bit down. And when you talk to people who are high energy and they charge you up a little bit, that's
Let's hope.
that's what I hope that you're all going to experience at home. Now, Michelle, virtual work life, and how do we automate all the crappy stuff in your business? How did you come up with this idea? How did you identify that there was a bit of a frustration out there in the marketplace that you could help solve?
Ooh, good story. Also, hope I do have that energy to bring you up because it is 8 o'clock at night here, and I was like, oh, I'm so tired. Why am I doing this right now?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
as soon as the camera came on, hi.
yeah, yeah.
Actually, I have had more than one career in my life. I worked a lot of different jobs for corporates, corporate businesses. Worked for the utility company here in San Diego for quite a few years, and and sort of a running joke when you're working full time in a big corporation like that is 10,000 employees. You find somebody who's your partner, like somebody you can rely on, that person that you meet at the water cooler, that person who like has your back, your work wife or your work husband. When I decided that I did not want to give 12 hours a day to a company because I wanted to be with my kids, but I still wanted to make money, and I decided to work from home, I was literally taking any kind of job that I could to get the business off the ground. And what I noticed is that a lot of other people who were taking that step out of the workforce, and we're talking 2005 now, not like last year, like 20 years ago, when people were just starting to work at home, that the small businesses, the people who were a mom and pop shop who were just trying to get something going, didn't have the money or the space in their business to hire somebody full time, but they still needed that work wife, that person who could be their other. Like when you're working at home, you're lonely. You don't have a partner. You're trying to do it all yourself. So they needed that virtual work wife. They needed somebody who could still step in and help them, and that didn't cost them as much because there's no overhead when you're hiring virtual. That was how the company started. And over the last 20 years, it's developed into something bigger, more obviously, because we grew, we scaled, we learned a few things, right? We're a full service marketing agency now.
Awesome. And when you went through that period where you were just taking any job and you didn't really know your direction, what was the pivot for you where the penny dropped and the light bulb went off and you changed what you were doing?
You know, it's that thing when you're doing anything to get off the ground because you're a scrapper, right? You're a hustler. You're going to do whatever it takes to get the money, to get the job so you don't have to go back to work full time for somebody else. You do a lot of things that you don't necessarily like doing. And that was what it was for me. I was like, okay, great. I'm making the money. I can stay at home with my kids. I'm happy because they're with me, but I'm still not happy. Like the job isn't fulfilling. So what is it about it that's not doing it for me? So I sat down and I tried to figure it out. Okay, well, what am I doing right now that I hate doing and I don't want to do anymore? And I made a list, and those are the things I just stopped doing. If it was a client type, I stopped taking that client type. If it was, answering people's phones, stop doing that. I'm never going to do those things again for anybody. But also, what was I doing that I really liked doing and that I wanted to do it more of? That's when I started honing in on being, strictly marketing, doing marketing, but not only just marketing, but doing something in marketing that nobody else was doing more of the automation, fixing the workflow, fixing the crappy stuff out of the job, right? There are things that you don't have to do yourself. You can automate. So I got real good at that and found the space for myself that nobody else was filling. I ask myself those same questions every single year, sometimes even multiple times a year when I start feeling like I'm in a rut or I start feeling like I'm not happy. What am I doing right now that I don't like doing and I don't want to do anymore? What am I doing that I love and I want to do more of? What's something that I wanted to do this year and I didn't get a chance to do? Those are the things you make time for, and you cut out the shit you don't want to be doing.
Yes, because that stuff really just becomes a full-time job in itself. And like you said, it's not fun to do. You hate doing it. It stops you from scaling because you're always caught up in the tasks, and it's not really productive.
It's a poison. It really
Yeah.
is a poison, because you start resenting either the person, because we've all done it. You take a job for money, right? Oh, I'm going to take this job because they're going to pay me more. It's not really something I want to do, but I need that. They just aren't good, right? They're a poison, because you either resent that person or you resent taking the job. So you resent yourself. You get negative about it. You don't want to do it. It becomes drudgery. And the things that you don't need to be doing, that you would normally maybe pay somebody to do, maybe you can't afford to pay somebody yet, you can automate those. Automation is generally cheaper than hiring a person. And you get rid of all that mundane crap, sending emails, following up on tasks, sending invoices, doing your email marketing. You don't have to do all that stuff manually. You can automate it, and then that frees you up to do the things in the business that you really like doing. Getting on podcasts, talking to other people, selling things, promoting yourself, doing summits, doing, live speaking engagements. If that's what you want to be doing, to pursue those things, you have to make space. Make space for hiring somebody or creating automation.
Definitely, and removing yourself, and so that you can focus on doing what you're doing, going on podcasts, focus on the marketing. How much of what your time now is focused on marketing versus yucky tasks?
Not very much, because I don't like doing them. There's certain, we all know that we need to do discovery calls to get people through the door, right? Your best chance of selling somebody your product is to talk to them personally about your product. Nobody's going to love your product more than you do. Nobody's going to sell it more than you do. So you've got to get people on the phone. But if you don't close them on the phone, how are you going to follow up with them? Nobody likes doing the follow-up calls. Getting on the phone and pitching the deal, that's fun. Everybody loves doing that, right? Getting on the phone following up to say, hey, remember what we talked about on Tuesday? Are you ready? Do you want to sign? I got an invoice right here. Nobody likes making that call. It's not fun. Feels like begging. Feels like used car salesman. So automate that. Set up some automation that's going to send out that email, that's going to send a text message, that's going to do something that does that friendly reminder without you having to do it. And that saves you, if you do 5 calls, saves you 5 hours a week. If you do 10 calls a week, saves you 10 hours a week. What are you going to do with 10 extra hours? I do a lot of things with 10 extra hours, and none of them sending emails or making phone calls. I'm at the dance studio with my kids. I'm at the park with my kids. I'm at the store shopping, because I have girls and we like to shop. So, find those things that you can get rid of, give them to somebody else, or automate them.
And you use a fantastic tool called Keap, which used to be called Infusionsoft. Is that correct?
Yes, I am a Keap certified partner. I have been for several years. That was the catalyst, actually, in the first question. What do I hate doing? I don't want to do anymore. And what do I love doing? My love doing was Keap. And back then it was brand new. It was a brand new product, first year on the market. And I loved using it. It simplified so many things and allowed me to automate so many steps that we could cut people. Not to say that I not like cut people out of jobs, but to cut people from doing things they didn't need to do and give them something else that they could do, that they could flourish. When you replace mundane tasks with automation, you allow people to shine, because they can now take on another role. They can take on a salesperson role. They can take on a customer support role. They can take on a leadership role, a coaching role. They can do a lot more things. So that was my love. I was doing that and I loved it and I wanted to do more of it. And I started exclusively working with people who use the same product, because I knew I could solve all their problems. And I'm still doing it. It's still working. Every single day. I use it every single day.
That's amazing that you have been using Keap, I should call it, not Infusionsoft, since its first year. So you must be an absolute expert at that software.
A little bit, yeah. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at it. I was actually a speaker at their conference in November. I'm hoping to speak again this November. It was a lot of fun, and it's Agencies, marketers, we're all a little competitive, so it's good to be there with your peers and like kind of self-gauge and like, am I doing as good as them? Am I doing better than them? You know, am I not doing as good as them?
And how do you become a certified partner? What's that all about?
Well, if you are using the tool and you like using the tool and you want to help support other people in doing the same thing, you can sign up to be a partner. You get a commission on your, when you sign new customers to the program. Obviously, you're going to get a commission on that. They pay very, very generously, which is nice. And what a bonus that is. I was already using it to support my clients because that's what it, of all the tools, because I've done Ontraport, Active Campaign, Practice Better, Kartra, I've tried them all. This is by far my favorite. It is always my first choice. And I was choosing it anyway, so why not become a partner and make commission on that as well?
Sounds perfect. And what do people do? People out there that are feeling a bit overwhelmed, solopreneurs usually, I guess, and they need to start automating their business. Because if you don't, you're not going to be able to scale up and free yourself like what Michelle has done and spend time doing what you want to do. And I just know what it's like when you get bogged down in these tasks. So automation and using software tools to remove a lot of that headache is an absolute game changer for your business. So what do people do to get into your world, Michelle?
Well, if you're looking at automating, if you're sitting here listening to us right now going, you know what, that's me exactly. I'm overwhelmed. I have too many things to do. I can't afford to hire somebody full-time to support me. Maybe this automation thing sounds good. I could probably automate a bunch of stuff. You can do a couple of things, right? You can get an automation software tool and you can try and build it yourself, which is going to take a little bit of time because you have a learning curve. And then you have to really build if you don't have any automation, you're building basically a whole business workflow from scratch. You can hire somebody who will build it for you from scratch, or you work with somebody like me who has already built it 10,000 times. So I've templated many, many things, which means we can get you off the ground a lot faster. And I even have a monthly membership program that I put together where you get a campaign every single month. So every month we're sending you a funnel that's already built. It already has email copy in it. It already has a landing page in it, a pizza landing page. And we don't just do sales campaigns because your whole business isn't just sales. And that is, I think, one of the places where people often make a mistake is they think, to make more money, I need more leads. I need to be always chasing leads. But a lot of the money that you could get can come from recurring sales. So you've already gotten a lead, they've already bought something from you. You need to be going back to that same person and saying, hey, here's what you do in year 2. Here's what you do after you finish that course. I've got this other course that looks really good. By the way, I also have this add-on program. You need to be selling them again and again and again. Often people miss that because they're so busy chasing front lead. So we send you campaigns that are built to, in 30 minutes, you can get it fully published and send it to an existing list and offer them an existing product. So you are bringing money in, and you have time to work on chasing. Because if you're always doing that, and you're not working your existing list, you're just missing money all the time.
Definitely, and like it's automated and set up and just upsells and downsells, and it's fantastic stuff. So I think you probably out there need to have a chat to somebody. Don't try and do this yourself. I kid you not, setting up CRMs and flows and funnels, and it takes years to learn how to do it. So if you can get somebody that can just go, you need this, slot it all in, and then you work it out as you see it working in your own business, and you start to understand it a lot quicker. So thanks for coming on, Michelle. Some really valuable information that people need to know about.
Oh, I'm so excited you had me here. It was super fun. I hope I shared something that was useful and that inspires people to like go do some research and find out if automation is something that you're missing out on. It is. I'm just going to tell you. It is.
Yeah. That's what I like. I like having guests on where I totally dig what they're saying because I've gone through it And I'm a big believer in removing a lot of that crappy stuff from your day, and it just helps your business in the long run in a massive way. So,
too. Like, how can you be creative if you're stuck doing mundane crap all day?
and yeah, you may as well just go back to your 9 to 5 if you want to do boring crap.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, thanks for watching, everyone, and thanks for listening. And I'm going to wrap it up, and I'll see you very soon on another episode. Thanks, Michelle.